Welcome back to the R&D podcast. Dude, my camera is getting messed up every time I touch it, by the way. I don't know if it looks good now.
I was wondering, you hit me with a Lamar edit, though.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks, does it not look crooked? Or am I tripping?
I don't know. It looks all right. I don't know. You look close. You normally look far away.
That's what I was thinking. I don't know. It'll work for now. Anyways, welcome back to the R&D podcast. My name's Dalton. Joined here today with Port once again. This isn't even the R&D podcast. This is the
TP
RP podcast. I mean, RP, what? Yeah, it's the DP podcast. But today we got the Heisman talks. First, we'll talk about this. Notre Dame's AD comes out and states that he feels that Notre Dame is getting targeted by the committee. We'll go ahead and I'll read out the exact quote. I'm not even going to attempt to say his last name because it's not worth it. But Notre Dame AD Pete says the Irish were targeted by the ACC social media campaigns pushing Miami over Notre Dame and the CFP. We were definitely being targeted. We bring tremendous football value to the ACC, and we didn't understand why you'd go out of your way to try and damage us in this process. Notre Dame likely mad because everybody, of course, says that they're being held out of the playoffs right now due to not being in the in a conference. What do you think about this sport?
They do it. If they do so much for the ACC, like this is the perfect time to get your revenge and join the ACC and dominate it. I mean, this is the reason why you are where you are. I mean, stay in a conference, make the conference championship. You don't get pushed out. You're probably higher up in the rankings where there's no question if you're even in.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, they're in a conference in every other sport. Why not football? The only thing I can say is just
easier to get ranked.
And you played 8 ACC games, I want to say, this year. So why not get into a conference?
Glorified ACC team at this point. Like, I just don't understand it. It makes no sense. I don't know why you'd come out and complain about it when you're not going to make the change to get your program in the right situation.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormack on Notre Dame's AD. I don't like it. His behavior has been egregious. It's egregious going after Jim Phillips. So a lot of drama right now on the up and up, right? Due to the fact that you have a guy who's being very outspoken about the fact that he feels like he was done wrong, and it wasn't that way. It's just the simple facts of college football. If you can't join a conference, you can't play in a conference championship, and you're holding yourself out as independent. Don't be surprised whenever these teams with harder schedules, or even teams that have to play through a championship game to be able to get into college football, don't be surprised whenever you can get dropped. Right?
I feel like they should have kept true to their word like last year, to where conference champions won in, because that would make everything it would make it a lot more worth playing the conference championship. Because right now there's nothing. I mean, it helps you basically zero to play a conference championship. You actually have more downside to playing in one as a top ranked team because you have a chance to fall. You have a chance to fall out of that top 3 and get that first round bye. Like Georgia, if they had lost, you know that Georgia was going to be sitting at 5 or 6.
So here's my thing with like the BYU Alabama conversation, because you've heard this, like both teams got blown out. Why did Alabama not get punished as hard as BYU did? Because BYU only played Tech.
That was it, and they got killed by Tech the first time.
And they got blown out by them both times, and they were already out of the playoffs. That's what's kind of like getting misconstrued here. Is the fact that they were already out of the playoffs. This was a play-in game for BYU, and they lost. That's why they got punished. People are like going about this as the fact that BYU was already in. They were not. They were the first team out. This is why you have this problem. Anyways, what's your thoughts, opinions on that?
I think that people are not more mad about Bama getting in over BYU, but they're more mad about Miami jumping BYU. What was the problem? And I think that Notre Dame sitting where they were, yeah, you lose to 2 top 10 teams where they're ranked at the time, but it doesn't matter when the team 2 spots behind you beat you early on in the season, but neither one played for a conference championship.
Yeah.
So I feel like the 3 teams that were in the bubble were BYU, Notre Dame, and Miami, and they did make the right decision by putting Miami in because they have played a harder schedule. They have more notable wins, one of which being over that Notre Dame team, who was they were ranked number 5 when they beat them. I think they were a top 5 team at the time. And I just don't understand. Like BYU fans are gonna be mad, obviously, just because they've gotten a mud hole stomped in them twice by the same team, and Bama lost to this team that they beat earlier in the season a few miles up the road.
Yeah,
it's different. Bama played 2 away games and came and split the series between Georgia this season. I mean, you can't.
While Georgia had the longest active home winning streak as well, you got to remember that.
I got to say they broke the longest home game winning streak in all of college football this season. In Athens,
so, and did it in pretty good fashion.
Oh no, they handled it very it was never really a question of if Bama was going to give it away. It was just when Georgia was going to catch its breath and finally get back moving.
Yeah,
because Bama, that was whenever Bama was still rolling. Bama was still the team that was everybody's like, that's going to be the number 1 team at the end of the year.
That really sparked it, was that game, right?
I was about to say that was. I feel like that was the game to where everything kind of started shifting. It started shifting a little bit with how it was going.
I would say the next kind of topic here we have Kendall Briles hired at SC. Pretty good pickup. You can't really do worse than what you had previously.
Yeah.
Sheila was kind of on a bad tear. Not saying he's a bad coach by any means, but he obviously wasn't working out in South Carolina. Go and pick up Kendall Briles, which I feel like he was actually on the board for a couple different schools here. I thought he was going to possibly get a head coaching job and maybe at a smaller school, but nonetheless gets picked up at South Carolina. I think this is going to be a good hire for SC. But really and truly, the meat and potatoes, the meat and carrots, whatever you want to say, of this whole podcast has been the Heisman Trophy talks. Is this going to be a shorter podcast?
Can I bring something up about the South Carolina hire?
Yeah.
Is that now that their portal has opened, they have a 30-day portal that's hit. Do you see teams go after Lenore Sellers and Nick Arbor? Because I'm going to be honest with you, there's a lot of teams in the SEC that could use a Lenore Sellers in their backfield. Someone who is seasoned and just really hadn't had the weapons, but has shown glimpses of being great, almost taking Bama down twice in back-to-back years, coming up short late in the game, obviously. Because,
why are you saying their portal's open?
They fired their coach, no? So 30 days after the fire.
Offensive coordinator.
Oh, I'm tripping. My fault.
Yeah, talking about Sheila.
But do you think you still see Lenore Sellers and people get offered a ton this year? That still stands. Because you look at it now, Auburn, they kind of need an identity. I hate to keep bringing up my team here because, they do. They don't really have the star factor quarterback that we need right now. We have Deuce Knight, but Deuce Knight's kind of a big question mark. And there's talks of Byron Brown coming up.
Do you remember the rumors from last summer when people were saying that Auburn went and offered a ridiculous amount of money? I think it was actually Lenore Sellers' dad came out and said that, and then people speculated it was Auburn.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know if Auburn did it just because I feel like the Jackson Arnold deal was done a lot quicker.
Yeah.
But now I feel like is the time to do it. You can't miss on somebody who's already proven to be in preseason Heisman talks.
Yeah.
He didn't perform bad this year. He just doesn't have help.
Yeah.
He has no help.
Offense looks shaky. Yes. They caught fire in a lot of games too. It's kind of like Auburn. They play close with a lot of teams that you would think would have got beat pretty badly by.
Oh yeah.
All-American freshman team for on 3. See 2 Alabama players pop up in this one. Michael Carroll and Dijon Lee both been playing good football all year. Michael Carroll's really taking a step up, getting that starting job, looking really good. And Dijon Lee, man, he's played a lot of snaps for Bama this year as well. I think one of the most interesting ones for me was the Malachi Tony. Obviously, I figured he was going to win the receiver, or the offensive award. But the 2 edges, Zahir Mathis and Sidney Stewart for Maryland, I haven't watched a whole lot of film on them. I haven't seen a whole lot of them play, but obviously they're doing something big there. And I'd be interested to take a look at them. Probably
you might have some future SEC ball guys right there. Honestly, you might see some of them come to the Big Ten or the SEC. One of them is at least going to go to Ohio State, and Ohio State's going to throw all the money they can at somebody like that. They're already, an All-American, like a true freshman All-American from on 3. That is, but
yeah.
The thing you also do have to note is Fasusi from Oklahoma. He is also a very big one there. He is an absolute animal on the offensive line. I'm not sure if you've seen him move.
Oh yeah,
but he is an absolute unit. And I don't know. I really like the list. I don't really think there's. I mean, Bo Jackson's obviously there. I mean, he has to be there. DJ Pickett looked good. But one thing I didn't know is that Cortland, I think it's Guillory, I think.
Yeah.
I did not know he was a freshman. He does not play like it.
He's been playing good ball too.
He's going to be an extremely good defensive back here coming on these next few years.
No doubt about that. That moves us in, which we get out of that. That moves us into our last segment. Like I said, quick show tonight because we don't have all the previews and everything like that. Heisman. The foregoing, you have right now the favored Mendoza, 2 at Pavia. That's what FanDuel, On3, Fox.
They don't got the script.
They have Mendoza minus one. Fox has Mendoza minus 1,000. Pavia plus 600 at the 2 spot. At the 3 spot, they have Jeremiah Love at the plus 15,000, and at the 4 spot, they have Julian Saint at the plus 70,000. So,
God, Saint fell out of the top. Like the top, he was number 2 or 1 the whole time. Yeah, he had one bad game.
You expected the Big Ten championship to really show a lot in this Heisman race, and all it really showed was, hey, Saint's still developing, and Mendoza's just as good as we all thought he was going to be.
I mean,
you saw
kind of.
I mean, you got to think about the defense he's playing. That Ohio State defense is, no matter what type of competition they played, you just look at a roster basis. That's the best defense in college football.
He is the best defense in college football. He played pretty good against that defense, but I don't know if he is as good as he's looked every week. This was a notable fall off from him. This was better than his Penn State game, but with the same outcome. He still came away with the W there. I guess that's really all that matters there. But I know he had a pick and a touchdown, I believe.
Yeah.
With like 200 yards.
Somewhere around those lines. But it's just the fact of getting your team to a touchdown, to a win in that case scenario, giving the competition that you're playing, no matter how you have to do it, finding out a way to win.
Defense came up big now, dude. They did.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was a defensive game, no doubt about it.
Oh, yeah.
But really impressed to see Mendoza play like he did against Ohio State, because I thought it could have easily been a blow-up game for him.
Oh, yeah.
But that being said, Pavia, man, you talk about somebody that is doing it all for a team. Somebody that is, if he got into the playoffs, he could probably do some damage to a lot of teams that you wouldn't expect. The kid's a competitor. The kid's a dog. The kid's all the Heisman Trophy has to stand for. And that's why you see him on a team that's not even making the playoffs to jump into that number 2 spot. A lot like last year with Travis Hunter, obviously a heck of an athlete, a heck of a college football player.
Oh, yeah.
He jumps in there. Diego Pavia, man, what do you think about him? What do you think he has over Mendoza?
I think he is the Heisman winner in my eyes, because I also had Genty picked last year as my Heisman winner, and I struck out last year. So, I'm bound to miss again, but I hope I do hit on it, because, as much as I do not like the arrogance and cockiness from him, the kid is a ball player. Week in, week out. He had half of a struggle game against Texas. Did everything he could against Bama. He's playing against a top defense there. Look what he did to Auburn. Given it's the interim, the defensive coordinator is not really doing his job against Auburn. He's having a kind of head coach, but still he put up 45 on what was a defense that didn't let over 24 score the whole year up until that point. I'd really like. He's good with his legs, good with his arm, responsible for, I think, like somewhere in the mid-30s touchdown wise, maybe mid-40s or low 40s. I think he's responsible for about 4,000 yards. I think it's like 3,200 passing and like 900 rushing. He's what you want in a dual threat quarterback. I didn't have him in here. I could have never predicted him being even in the last 2 Heisman spots, in my opinion. But here we go. I had Marcel Reed all the way through. You know it. Week in and week out, Marcel Reed stayed at 1. Now here we go. Now Pavia's here. And after I said he'll never win it.
Yeah. Pavia just puts up so many stats from a rushing and a passing standpoint. And then also, if you sit here and think about, okay, you take Mendoza off of Indiana. Indiana's still probably a solid team. You take Pavia off of Vanderbilt,
nothing.
I don't know what you get.
I think you might get the old Vanderbilt back. You might get a 3-4 win Vanderbilt that gets absolutely shelled at home.
And
their 4 wins are cupcakes. I mean, that's your non-conference.
And this is something that's going to be interesting to talk about is the fact of the transfer portal's role in the Heisman. Of course, Mendoza just now transferring over to Indiana. He gets boosted to the top of the Heisman poll. And then Pavia coming over 2 years ago or a year ago to Vanderbilt.
From New Mexico State.
Now he's in the Heisman race. So, yeah.
We've got 2 guys that own Auburn in the Heisman race right now. Literally.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the key to winning the Heisman Trophy is just
you just have to
Auburn
just destroy
Auburn
out. At any chance. Yeah. If you can beat Auburn and Jordan-Hare, you're going to win the Heisman. Pavia did it twice in 3 years.
Yeah. Mendoza.
He did it last year at Cal, the University of California. Which you gotta love Peyton Thorne, RJ's Heisman from last year.
Yeah. That's preseason Heisman talks. That's somebody I do not discussed anything with. Did you see where Coach O came out and said on the SEC paying players, he said, we used to just walk through the back door with the cash. Now we got to walk through the front door.
Dude,
but he's rage baiting. He is.
I love it. I love it so much. He loves problems, and I'm here for it, honestly.
Oh yeah, I mean, it makes it interesting, right?
I mean, he keeps it fun. I'll give him that. He keeps it really fun.
And let's not, to end off the podcast, whatever, we're coming to the end of it because we don't really have a whole lot to talk about on the show, right? We'll talk about this, just kind of pulling things out. James Franklin, the job he's doing at Virginia Tech to have that class up in the 20s, dude. And he just hired a defensive coordinator today, and he hasn't even hired an offensive coordinator. So he's getting kids to commit to this school without any type of foundation laid.
I think him and Golish have done the best job at their head coaching jobs, like they're fresh after the hire, what they've done recruiting wise, because Virginia Tech went from being 115th or 110th or something like that. It was something crazy. They were way down there on the recruiting board.
Yeah.
And they're up within the top 20 now, I think. And then Golish within 5 or 6 days went from a 96 ranked class to a top 25.
Yeah.
Or top 30. Crazy. I can't remember which one it was.
Crazy.
I mean, it's just
absolutely crazy.
And then the transfer portal is going to open up, and some Penn State guys are going to jump ship and go play with their old coach.
Definitely.
And it's going to be the defense, which is what Virginia Tech really and truthfully needs to stay competitive.
Well, Virginia Tech's added on 7 4-stars, 16 3-stars, and their average NIL deal is $32,000. They're the 27th ranked. Yeah, the average rank, 27th average class in the nation. I don't know why I can't say that. My gosh.
Holy crap.
So James Franklin making waves over there at Virginia Tech, already doing what they hired him to do, no doubt about it. Even without the coordinators, even without the lack of, with the lack of stability in the air, he's still being able to get kids to commit to Virginia Tech, which is impressive nonetheless, and speaks volumes for the coach that he is. Now, how will that translate to the field? The world may never know. But so far, so good over there in Virginia Tech, getting what they paid for.
I mean, I've really noticed that a lot of these coaches, you don't have to have a foundation. You are the foundation. You don't have to build something at a program. If you're going to the program first year, people are going to want to come play for you. I mean, you look at, let's say if Saban didn't retire and he went to another school, there's so many people that are going to leave all these other schools just to try to go play for him. Yeah. Like that's why Bama was so good as good as it was, because you had constant top-ranked players going and playing for the University of Alabama just to go play under Nick Saban. Not because they were Alabama fans, but because they wanted to be great. And that's what these kids want. They just want to be great. And if they believe in a coach, that's all the coach needs is just for them to believe, and he can make them something.
And you see that coming to fruition at Virginia Tech currently. You want to move into basketball real quick? We can, just to kind of get over that little 20-minute mark here on the podcast for tonight. Basketball, AP basketball, top 25 after week 5. Auburn back at the 21 spot, drops the spot after the loss to Arizona, a pretty nasty loss.
I expected that. I didn't expect us to stay. I knew we were going to fall a little bit.
Right now, Auburn having problems at the center position down low, and it's coming. I mean, you can definitely tell. And same thing with Alabama, and That's why you see teams like Arizona, Michigan. They're really good, really physical down low. They're doing well right now. Michigan at the 2 spot, Arizona at the 1 spot. Alabama and Arizona actually play Saturday, which is going to be a really good basketball game. I'm
Bama plays Arizona and Auburn plays Purdue.
Yeah. So Alabama, Auburn taking on the 1 and 6 ranked teams in the nation. It's going to be an interesting one. Jalil Bethea, notable for Alabama at the coming back into the small 4-point guard position. He kind of flexes between the 1 through 3.
Doesn't matter. He's a dog, man.
Yeah, he drops 22 points in 21 minutes the other night. That's what happens whenever you have that last name on your jersey.
That's always what it is. Animal. Playing time equals points with the last name that me and him share. That's all I'm gonna tell you.
There's one time, right? And we'll get back into some old lore since we're here for a story time.
I mean, let's do it.
So back in high school, right? We'll go back to what was this, 2002?
No, hold on. I was born then, maybe.
I'm sitting on the bench. My wrist is broke. Got the scar right here. Prove it, right?
I did not have a broke wrist. I didn't.
Me and Pork are sitting at the end of the bench together. I mean, we're cutting up, having a good time. Well, just so happens, I don't know if we went up enough or we went down enough, but Pork gets the call.
We were down 25 with 6 minutes left in the third.
Oh, yeah. And Pork gets in the game. I mean, he takes the shooting shirt off. He's running on the court. He's like, I got it. I made it. They're playing intro music for him. The crowd's getting high. That's on me. That's a little elaboration for you.
It was playing in his head.
But I'm like, man, this dude's about to go get buckets, right? Buckets. And come down the court. Pork catches it. Little jab step. Drives to the paint. Reverse lay. And it about touches the roof of the ceiling or the roof of the gym. About touches the ceiling. Comes back down. Woof.
Nothing but it.
That was the end of that.
Walter.
We had to pull him immediately.
I was too good. I was too good for it. Okay,
Pork goes in, gets a bucket, cuts the lead to 47, and gets pulled from the game. But Pork went in there and got his. That's the moral of the story.
2 points, 1 minute. That's all it needs to be said.
That's all he needs.
I got in. We got the ball. They gave it to me. I saw this little guy on me. Look, going this way.
Yeah.
Big old 6'5" center jumping away. Green. You know
Crazy.
how it goes. You know how it goes. Yeah. And then I went and sat right back down to him, and Turtle was freaking out.
I was like, there's no way. There's no way you just got pulled, too. And the fact of it is when we say he got pulled, I mean, he made the shot.
No, it was an instant, timeout. Broke a timeout and got me off the court.
He's like, no, can't take the shot away. We got to get him out of here.
He's like, starters.
We got a chance to get them back in the game.
I was like, bro, what? I was like, let me go. I was like, let me loose. I'm going to start getting loose.
Amazed by that.
I'm telling you, that's like a top 5 moment of all time, I think. And dude, and it was one of them reverses where there was so much core strength involved. I fell on I hit my feet and then just fell, and it was right in front of the student section. It was so sick.
It was buttery.
And when I looked up, I thought the other team called a timeout, and my coach is just going,
Hey, come off the court, bub. Buddy came back to the sidelines, put that shooting shirt on. We sat there and just cut up about that one. That was a good time.
I hate that they weren't videoing our games, dude, because I want that video so bad. They started doing it the year after because, dude, somebody got snapped at half court in front of the whole student section on our team. And we were winning by 40.
Oh, man.
No, there's video of that.
Crazy times. Crazy. Yeah, there was videos of that. Will Reed comes in here and says, brother, what are we talking about? This isn't football. Will, sucks that you were 20 minutes late to the live, buddy. We're already talking out of football. We're telling stories about high school, bud. You missed it. You're too late.
Since we're talking about high school, put this guy back up on here, okay? We were losing by 30. I told you. I'm telling you. The instant pull was crazy. But look, since we got this guy in here, this guy's a punt return menace, given he only does it when a holding call is thrown, okay?
It has to be illegal, but
the second a holding call away from the ball happens, he's housing it, okay? Twice.
Rough times.
Will broke his ankle. All right, she's banned. All right, that's off the screen. All right.
Yeah, that's one more thing we'll talk about in the live. So there was this time that we were in practice. And my buddy Pork here, he goes in, he's ready. It's scrimmage time. Well, another guy that we know.
Me and you both, Shin. Me and you both, buddy.
not going to name names, hits Pork with a jab step. And when I tell you, Pork hit one of these right here and walked back to the free throw line. I mean,
Can
Pork,
I tell
can
the
we
story from my point of view?
Can
I tell the story from my point of view?
I lost
so,
my shoe, by the way.
Okay. All right. We said we weren't name dropping, Chin. What are we doing? What are we doing? No free promos, okay? But look, so I get in, and of course they're rotating me at the 1 and the 3, who I'm guarding. So I'm guarding the starting 3 at this point in time, okay? And the way we were doing it is you were having to like run out and kind of just like put a hand up in their face and like let them play off of it. Well, I'm standing behind the free throw line. Well, he gets the ball. I take off running and go do it, and he jabs. And I'm like, oh, and then jumped over, and my foot went just like that, completely over. Like my ankle slammed the ground. And I think that was what the worst thing was. I sat there and fell for like 10 seconds.
Oh.
And what made it worse is my coach. He came and picked me up. Like he came over and grabbed my arm and said, "You all right?" Pulled me up off the ground. I was like, "Bro, what are we doing?" Dude, that's how I felt in the moment. That's now that we have that reference, bro. I was like, it's not funny. I'm actually hurt.
Oh wow.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy. But you know, it happens like that sometimes, man. Whenever you're a true competitor, a true athlete, a true go-getter, true bucket getter, even
it's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Everybody.
It happens
LeBron
to everybody.
Gets dunked on.
You don't think Kobe Bryant got his ankles broken?
Yeah, I mean, Kobe Bryant tore his Achilles playing defense, and then hit free throws after he tore his said Achilles.
That's really poor.
That's just me.
That's you.
I mean, I don't know what else you want. It's just me.
I don't know where this all went wrong yet. This is supposed to be a football podcast.
All I know is that this guy cannot guard me. Never has, never will be.
Port. Last thing on the show. I need your Heisman favorite. Go.
Anchor down, baby. Give me Diego Pavia.
The Pavs. I hear you. Do I think that Pavia should win the Heisman based off of stats, based off of what he's done on the field, what he's done for Vanderbilt? Probably so. And do I think Mendoza's played well all season? Yes. Do I think that Mendoza will win the Heisman? Yes. Do I think that Pavia should probably win it over him? Yes, but I think just thinking about how they usually do it, and with him being such a heavy favorite, obviously Vegas knows something that we don't. And I'm gonna have to go with Mendoza if I'm just wanting to be correct. My personal Heisman would be Pavia, considering how he's played the past couple weeks. And if he had a playoff game or if he had a conference game, he definitely could be up there pretty convincingly at that top.
I was going to say, if Pavia was playing in a few weeks, then we have a different story. Pavia is probably the favorite just because he's in the playoffs. But I think that's what's going to get him held out is because he didn't make the playoffs with an insanely hard schedule. I mean, the dude played a ton of top 25 teams.
Yeah. I agree with that. RJ said, will the Eagles sit Jalen Hurts at the last performance? Interception to pick? No, he will not get set. It's Jalen Hurts.
I was going to bring this up. I think the committee rectifies the decision last year to leave Genty out of it after being a 2,500-yard rusher, and they just give it to Jeremiah Love. Give it to me.
Give it a Port. But
no,
this podcast has been a short one and kind of a different one because obviously we don't have as much to talk about. We talked about the Notre Dame AD, talked about the responses to that, what he's saying with the drama that's being started in college football. This week, with it being the Army-Navy week and the Heisman Trophy and everything like that. Next week, we get into that real good preview. Sunday, we'll have the discussions on that. Tuesday, we'll have the same. And then Friday night, you got Alabama going to Norman, Oklahoma. That's going to be a fun one. Port, I appreciate you joining me today. This has been the P. Diddy Podcast. We'll catch you.